Okay, so let's go through Altura, guys, and I want to do this quickly because we're running a little bit behind, and that's okay. We had a very good morning so far.
Yes,
Really loved having Crayola on.
we've got a few in the group that have reached out and said, help me set up my grids. So this was a really great call. We want everybody trading, guys.
Yeah,
If you started and then stopped, let's get you going again.
right. Absolutely. All right, we're going to look at Altura here, guys, and I have one trade I got a couple of trades that are pretty deep in Altura, and I want to do some cost average. I turned the cost averages off. Market was rolling over, going down, and now we're getting to some low areas, and I want to look at going in and doing some cost averages on these three trades. Okay, but I haven't been paying attention to Altura. I don't know what's going on with Altura. So I went out and asked the AI that we're building and working with, what it thought about Altura, and I'll show you the answers that I got here. I wanted to know social sentiment and positive and negative news. And here's what it gave me. It says current social sentiment, right? Is positive. Altura is still a positive social sentiment. Told me that it's about buying and selling NFTs and games. I couldn't even remember. We do so much. I couldn't even remember what Altura did, right? And so I go, oh, that's right. I remember that. Okay, that is very cool. And it really is involved in next Web3 games, which is a huge market. And it's really a massive tidal wave, I think, that's coming our direction. And it's positioned in that tidal wave. Okay, well, that's good. Uh, can you give me any explanation of why it's down so much? Because I feel like, and I didn't go through and analyze every coin, but I feel like it's been holding a little bit more down pressure than some of the other coins. It's pretty deep. I can see that in the negative at 25 and 30%. Is there any reason? And basically it said it couldn't find any specific news or anything that would explain why it's down so much. And that is an answer to me, right? If it could have gone out and found, oh, the CEO of Altura was doing this or that, and he's going to become, the next guy is being prosecuted or something, I would have needed to know that, right? But it didn't find anything. So that in itself was a positive answer to me. It was a good answer. And then I said, do you think the utilities, and I listed some of the utilities of Altura, do you think the utilities are have real market value? And I talk about that all the time when we're trading a coin. Does that coin's utility have real market value? And that's what I wanted to know. And it came back and it gave me, based on the information provided, right? It gave me all of the things here that tell me that this thing has real market value. Overall, Altura's utilities seem to have real market value. Okay, and that's exactly what I was looking for. And it addresses specific pain points. Wow. Okay. So the coin's down. Would I then, based on this information, would I want to add cost averages? Then the other last question I asked it, has there been an increase or decrease in Altura's token holders? There's been a slight decrease. So, okay, I understand it's down. A lot of people get fearful in the market. That doesn't bother me whatsoever, right? I love when people get fearful in the market. And I find a coin that still has utility, still has value, still has strong social sentiment, is positive, and some people are freaking out. Okay, great. It creates the opportunity for me. Now, I still may be wrong on this coin. I still may be in a position where I need to cost average more at some point. But everything that I'm reading here, and this is why we're building an AI for traders, everything that I'm reading here is telling me that I should be okay. It's no guarantee, right? But I've done my due diligence. I've done my work to try to figure out, is something really bad going on? Can't find it. Is positive social sentiment? Yes. Okay. I've done what I can to make a decision that's in positive or good information base, right? And Crayola talked about this, being in the dark, right? And I think most traders just trade on gut or feeling, or and sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but it doesn't take much to do a little bit, and this doesn't take more than a few minutes to do a little bit of due diligence to see if the decision that I'm making is still a wise decision. So I've done the best I can. I think it's a wise decision. It may prove me wrong, and that is okay. As long as I don't overtrade, right? I still have money management. And the thing that is most important in everything that we do is money management, guys. Not overtrading, being patient, letting the market come to you like we did in File. I didn't take the trade at the barrier. I set a deeper trade and I let the market come to me. Now, if the market had broken up and gone higher, I would have changed, or I would have let it pull back from there. And either way, I talked yesterday that I was okay. If it went up and pulled back, I'm okay. If it holds this barrier and comes down, I'm okay. That's the key, is that I'm always putting myself into a position that I'm okay. Right. And so I don't overtrade. I don't over leverage. Let the market come to me as much as I can. And then I trade from there. Okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to go into Altura here. And I'm not going to turn on the auto cost averaging again. You can see that I have it all off. Right. And this one already took one cost average, so I have one in there, and I did that manually, right? So let's look at that trade here. Go to I. Come on. Okay, so there it is. It's the yellow dot. I did it right here. Okay, I did the cost average deep. It brought it down. Market continued to drop. It came back to where I did. I could have cost average down here, but I'm back down here again. And so I'm going to look at setting up a cost average for these three. Okay. And let's remember where this one's at. And let's remember where each one of these are at, because it's going to be interesting to see what the effect of the cost averaging is. Okay. So the one that I did the manual cost average, its current break-even price is 0.6044. Okay, 0.06044. Okay. Let's do that one first. Okay.
And guys, remember, you got to look at what kind of funds do you have currently sitting in your mid wallet,
Right.
and make your decisions. Maybe you're going to pick one trade and work on one trade to get it out. Maybe in Doug here, he's going to work on all three trades because he's got the funds in there to do it. So
Right.
run your plan. Never run Doug's plan with your account when you're looking at completely different financial situation inside of your nSights, right?
Right. Yeah. And that's important, guys. I always talk about don't over leverage, don't trade money that you can't afford to lose, and realize that if it goes deeper, you're going to have to be able to cost average again. Okay. And so you want to be very, very careful when you do this. And while you're starting out learning and stuff, lighter trades, lighter cost average is more freeing for you. The worst thing you will do in trading is overtrade, have that market drop and not be able to trade more, or be in a situation where your palms of your hands start getting sweaty, right? Because you're in so much that now it's causing anxiety and fear, right? And you never want to be in that place. So you want to be in a place, and I understand that place. And I'll tell a little story. And I've told this in the past, and some of you may have heard it, may not have. There was a day that Brendan and I were trading, and we were trading large funds out of Europe. And we were in one trade for over $10 million. Okay. And I got to admit, my palms were getting a little sweaty. Okay. I wasn't as calm as I am today. And I traded us out of that situation, right? And there were some traders that were following me on that trade, and they go, God, that was amazing, right? But I tell you, it wasn't fun. Okay. It wasn't fun. And it tested my nerves, it tested my skills, it tested everything in me. You don't want to be in that place. You're not doing this like I was doing it back then, right? You're not doing this for that kind of reason, right? You want to be able to come here, make some money, relax, learn, have fun, but never put yourself in a position where you're trading $10 million, right? And having your life flash in front of your face, and you get into that mode of, oh my God, I've got to keep digging and making this work. And I knew I could make it work, but it was intense. Okay. I'll just put it at that. All right. So, all right, here we go. So I want to do this one. I'm going to come in here. And I got my number where my current cost average is. And where is the current market? The current market is at 4. Okay. Current market is
6-7.
0.0476.
No,
Thank you,
6-7.
Deb.
6-7.
6.7?
Yeah, 6-7.
Okay.
0-4-6-7.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Just erase that so I don't make a mistake.
So
Okay.
were you trading leverage in that scenario, that 10 million scenario?
You betcha.
Oof, ouch. Oof.
So every tick down was tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. Pucker up, Buttercup. Because it was a ride. Oh my God, that was intense. But I lived through it. I made it work. I did a lot of big trades, but that trade was, the market was just going ballistic that day, and it was a heavy ride, and so I'm glad I had years of trading experience when I was in that position, but yeah, it was a real deal.
Crazy to
Okay.
think people get themselves into that kind of position with no experience, right?
Oh, I
All the
saw it
time.
all the time.
Oof.
Yeah, yeah. And the worst thing for anybody is they started Forex. They come out, they had a bunch of small to medium sized wins, right? And they think they know what they're doing. That first time they put on a big trade, almost categorically went against them, right? And they lost everything. And I just saw it over and over and over again. It was brutal. That's why I do what we do here, non-leveraged, 1-to-1, but we can still make 800% or more. And some of you guys are going to be way beyond 800% when we figure it out, but we can still make 800% in a year. Okay. Non-leveraged, right? It's just magical what we can do here. Okay. All right. Let's go to add manual. Okay. I'm going to do it at current market. My last trade I did was $100. I'm going to do $100 again because I'm deep in the trade and I'm okay with that amount. And I have my phone
Again, you're like 3 days in a row, I think, Doug.
I know. If you guys missed our live call, I was doing this. I got to this point and my phone wasn't on my desk. And so Deb had to talk. I'm running around, can't find my phone anywhere. She's trying to talk. And my new step watch here has the ability to ring my phone so I can find my phone. I pressed the button to ring my phone and it was in my hip pocket.
But like I said, he got a lot of steps in. During our call, you were
during our call. Oh my God, it was there's some things that are just pathetic. And that was a pathetic moment in my life.
So funny.
That was almost as stressful as the $10 million. No. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do 887420 and submit. I know everybody's laughing at me out there. I feel it, guys. I feel you.
With you. Always with you.
Oh, that's funny. All right, successful. Okay. Now we're at 16% negative. Let's go look at that. Click the eyeball. Scroll this down. Well, this is good. It's below my chart. It's below it down here. So let me scroll this up a little bit so we can see it. Okay, now we're at right about here. We're at 0.0539. And we were at 0.06044. Okay, so that cost averaging took me from this blue line down to this blue line, okay? And I can see that I'm now, this is here. Now I'm below where we cost averaged before. The cost average brought me to here. The black dot was here. Now this cost average, which is nice and deep, brought me to this high here. So if we bounce and come back up at all, I have a good chance of getting out. If it goes deeper, then I'm going to have to do something deeper. Now let's look at one more. I'm going to only do one more. I was going to do all three. I'm going to do one more here. Let me get those out of the way. I'm going to do the deepest one. Okay. I'm going to click on this. I want to see where it is. So get the eyeball on this thing. There it is. It's right there. Okay. So it's currently at, that's roughly right, 0.6588. Okay. And its original trade. Now, what we're going to see here is I had already cost averaged this once with $100. And so it's starting to get fairly weighted, meaning that I had, the original trade plus 100, 150, I think about into this trade. So it brought it down some. Okay. So now I'm going to put a line here where this trade is, and I'm going to change the color of this line so that we can track the different ones. Let's make this let's make it an orange. Okay. Orange is easy to see. Make it thick. Okay. That's where that one's at. And now we're going to see what $100 does to this one, because let me just make sure. I don't think that this one doesn't have any cost averaging on it, and it's $50. So you can see this one, I got 250 into the trade. This one has only 50. I'm going to put $100 on it, so it'll be 150. and we'll see how much it drops that trade. Okay. So I'm going to put manual here, and I wrote where that is. That is correct. I'm going to do $100. I'm going to do my 2FA. Come on, phone. Submit. I did something different. Okay. It did it. There it is. Here's our cost average. Let's go look at our dot now. I on it.
Oh, very nice.
Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
So it actually cost averaged it below this one. And I was I was hoping that's what it would happen. And so now let's
You were a little lower in the market at that
yeah.
day.
Uh-huh.
Not too
Not
much.
too much, yeah.
Oh.
So let's I had these as orange, and I had it thicker, right? And my other one, let's duplicate this line, was at there we go. It's going to be 0.06588. I forgot to put a 0 in. Yep, right at that dot. And so that dropped it roughly about 21%.
Beautiful.
Isn't that sweet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so now you remember the other one's right kind of at the just below the top of this. I'm down pretty nice in this. And if this one goes back up and just touches the top, is it enough? Yeah, it's over 6% to the top here. So if I'm going for 5% or so, I have a very good chance of getting out of this one. Okay. So that's the way I like doing it. And again, guys, I knew the market was turning over. We did these in the calls together. I turned off a bunch of my auto cost averaging just so in some cases I could have control over it. Now I think in Bitcoin and WBNB, I left auto on because I wanted those to be on. But some of the other coins that I didn't want to potentially get over leveraged in, I turned the auto off for a little bit, putting the control back into my hands as a trader to decide how deep I wanted the market to go. And usually I'm doing cost averaging around 15%, but these are at 30, almost 30%, right? And this one was at 30%. So it allowed me to take my money and use it more wisely and get a more bang for my buck, so to speak, right? And allowed me to accumulate more coins at a deeper price. So there's times where turning off auto may make sense, or leaving some auto on some coins and turn it off on other coins so that you have money to work with can make sense. So, puts a lot of control back in your hands. It's up to you, right? And that's the key is that the system is designed with so much flexibility that once you begin to learn and understand, and you can learn and understand without over leveraging, right? You could trade smaller sizes so that you can experiment. And this trading's not going anywhere, guys. This skill set that you're learning that you have is something that you'll be able to use the rest of your life. Trading is not going anywhere. So, don't freak out and say, "Oh, I could have put 10 grand on that and made nonsense."
Yeah, stop thinking.
Yeah.
If you can get out of your head, and that took me a long time to learn, Doug, a
Right.
long time to learn
Yeah.
the
But
patience.
yeah, and look what you've done with your account. I mean,
It's a lot. Yeah.
you're in the top. You're ahead of the professional traders, Deb. You've made more this year than 99.9% of all professional traders in the world.
Wow. And that's a testament to nSights and you, of course, but nSights,
Yeah.
I don't have to sit around and wonder when to get into a trade. It does it when it's supposed to get into a trade. I don't
Right.
have to freak out that I'm about to miss a sell because it just does it. It's phenomenal.
Well, I'm going to correct my statement. Crayola has made more than 99.9% of all professional
Right?
traders in the
Yeah.
world. So, and you guys, we take things for granted because we hear all of this hype on YouTube's and, oh, I made 10 million%. I did this and did that. Yeah. They don't tell you how much they've lost. They don't tell you how much they didn't make on all these things over here. They take the one coin that they made a lot of money on and they'll show that, but they don't show you their overall account. We're talking about overall accounts, all your coins, everything that you're doing. So yeah, it's wonderful.